All right, you guys ready to start this dating series? Dating and all the other good stuff we're going to talk about. So my plan was tonight, I was going to get a wig, like a girl's wig, so that I could have Aaron wear that girl's wig and come up here and sit beside me because I was going to feed him some pickup lines. And then I thought, I couldn't find a wig, so I thought, oh, I'll have my wife do it. But my wife's not here. So I need someone to volunteer that I can just sit up here with me and feed you some pickup lines. All right, come on. All right, let's sit in this one. All right, so I kind of thought back over my years of dating way back in the day, and I have to admit I haven't used all of these, but I've thought of 7. So I'm just going to go through my 25. These are John Mack's top 25 pickup lines. John Mack's top 25. I've never dated anyone like you before. Well, some of them are, you've already picked them up. Right. I can't even make myself think about another girl. Now, let me give you this note of advice. If you ever hear any of these, you run. You just run. You don't even acknowledge that you heard them, you just run. Period. You are my dream come true. I feel like I've known you forever. We're going to be together forever. It's like we're already married. We won't go all the way, so it's okay. I was down in our relationship, but I know now that we were meant to be together. God brought us together. This is God's will. Oh my goodness. Get in a car and drive away fast. I've never told anyone else this. I love you. I'm on a mission from God. Baby, you're like a student and I'm like a math book. You solve all my problems. Did you fart? Because you just blew me away. I love that one. That's my favorite. You must be in the wrong place. The Miss Universe contest is over there. I may not be a genie, but I can make your dreams come true. Sean's used that one. He told me. If you were a booger, I'd pick you first. That one works every time. In fact, if I was a guy, I'd try that one first. Why does it feel like the most beautiful girl in the world is in this room? Life without you would be like a broken pencil. Pointless. Can I take a picture of you so I can show Santa just what I want for Christmas? It should be. These are good. Let's make like fabric softener and snuggle. Are you an alien? Because you just abducted my heart. Cheesy. I hope there's a fireman around because you're smoking. This is one of my favorites. I'm like chocolate pudding. I look like crap, but I'm as sweet as can be. I love that one. Are you a parking ticket? What? You got fined all over. Last one, 25. Are your legs tired? Because you've been running through my mind all day long. All right, you can sit down. Okay, you got it? That's good too. I like that one. That's good. Thank you, Nicole, for sitting in. You were almost as good as Aaron in a wig. Almost. That would have been funny. Okay. I can't sit and preach. So, here's what I want to do. This is about dating. Tonight, I want to specifically talk about how do you pick the right person to date. Like, we're going to talk more about dating, and I'm going to be honest with you. We'll probably talk about this later. It's my opinion, you shouldn't even date in high school. I mean, it's just going to end in hurt and pain, and it's not going to end well. They never do. I wouldn't even date in high school. It's like the maturity levels just aren't quite there to really make that work. And there's a reason for that. And we're going to talk about that a little later, that dating is really for courtship. It's really for dating the person that you want to marry. And that's kind of how Scripture has laid it out. And we need to be aware of that. But in order for us to get this idea of how do we pick, we have some profiles up on the screen. I checked your Facebooks. I picked 6 students. I'm going to put your profiles up on the screen. Oh, yeah. We're doing it. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So this is Brooklyn Smith. I want you to kind of begin to read through this profile with me. Now, this is for the guys. I can't tell you. This is for the guys. I want the guys to pick the person they think they should date that follows the best biblical standard and the best biblical boundaries that are set. Alright? So, religious views, I love Jesus. Favorite quotations, I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her. Puke. Take love, multiply it by infinity, and take it to the depths of forever. And you still have only a glimpse of how I feel for you. Me, Joe Black. There's another one down there. It's kind of off the string. Books, the Bible, Twilight Saga, The Blind Side for movies, Dear John, The Last Song, The Notebook, To Save a Life. There's a good one, To Save a Life. Yeah. Carrie Underwood. Music, Taylor Swift, Carrie Underwood. Did you hear Carrie Underwood sing Amazing Grace the other night? That was amazing. That was pretty cool. At the lowest, I forget what country music thing that was. It was great. Justin Bieber, Desperation Band, television, American Idol, The Bachelor, and Jersey Shore. Ooh, Jersey Shore. There might be a activities, cheerleading, Element Student Ministries, and basic information. I love life and I love being with my friends. I love to cheerlead and party it up. On the weekend, I'm single, looking for love, and I'm a huge romantic. Okay, let's go to the next one. That's Brooklyn. Remember Brooklyn. Here's Sadie. Fraser High School, class of 2012. Follower of Jesus Christ. Favorite quotations. It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, anyone could do it. The hard is what makes you great. Believe your own. Some other ones there. Say movies. Transformers, Gladiator, The Hangover, Armageddon, Home Alone. Music, Eminem, Black Eyed Peas, Katy Perry, Usher, Keisha, Kim Walker. Just threw Kim Walker in there. Television, Scan, 16 and Pregnant, True Life, Supernatural, Glee, Jersey Shore, Desperate Housewives. Activities and interests, soccer, playing sports, camping, hiking, and church. Basic information. Basic information. I'm very into sports. I'm extremely competitive. I love life. Every man dies, but not every man really lives. Okay. Maybe she should have put every woman dies, but not every woman. All right, third profile. Third profile. Here's Trinity. Trinity Jones. Cosmo High School, class of 2011. Religious views, radical, passionate follower of Jesus Christ. Favorite quotations, I believe in Christianity as I believe that the sun has risen not only Pray as if it all depends upon God, but live as if it all depends upon you. Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners. Arts and entertainment, books, the Bible, Red Moon Rising, Crazy Love, Mere Christianity, movies To Save a Life, Letters to God, Soul Surfer, Amazing Grace, Chronicles of Narnia. Music, Jesus Culture, Desperation Band, Hillsong United, Carrie Joe, Flyleaf, Super Chick. I love chick bands. Television. Too busy to watch TV. Activities and interests, Element Student Ministries, prayer, music, painting, coffee, photography, and art. Basic information, I love painting and art, but more than that, I love my Savior. I want my life to glorify Him. And I can't read, that's behind the guitar. I want to be a voice of truth to my generation. So out of these three, you've got Sadie, Trinity, and who's the other one? Brooklyn. Sadie, Trinity, and Brooklyn. As you look through their profiles and their likes and dislikes, some of the things that they're involved with, which person would you pick that would most glorify God and would be a relationship that would most glorify God?
I'm going to go ahead and say that one.
Boys, the girls said it, but that's it. No, John, I got to tell you, we made these up, so don't ask me for information. All right? So what do you guys think? Trinity? All right, number 3, yep, Trinity. Trinity would be the one that would most be glorifying to God in a relationship. All right, here we go. Let's move to the guys. Yeah. This is Ian Peterson, Chippewa Valley High School, class of 2013. He's a Christian, doesn't have any favorite quotes, likes Michigan State. Arts and entertainment. Iron Man, Inception, Tommy Boy, Sherlock Holmes, Star Wars. May the Force be with him. Music. Under Oath, Bob Marley, Dashboard Confessional, Dave Matthews Band, and Nickelback.
He's a winner.
Television, Pawn Stars, The Office, Storm Chasers, Family Guy. Activities and interests, hanging with friends, skateboarding, video games, drums. Basic information, I'm a lot of fun to be around. I love just hanging out with my friends. I'm a pretty decent skateboarder and I play way too much Call of Duty. No. Next one.
I know you like Nickelback.
I do love Nickelback.
This is Jackson Martin, Sterling Heights High School, class of 2012. Jesus Christ is my life. Favorite quotation, stand for character, fall for reputation, for to me to live is Christ and to die is gain. Sports, Detroit Tigers, Detroit Pistons, Ohio State Buckeyes. I like this guy already. I like him already. Arts and entertainment, To Save a Life, Elf, Braveheart, The Patriot, X-Men, Fantastic Four. Activities and interests, going to church, leading a prayer group, serving at downtown, basketball, and baseball. Basic information, I love God with all my heart and soul. He's my life, my passion, the reason I get up every day. He has radically changed my life and I owe everything to Him. I just want to make a difference in my high school, my community, and for people to see the love of Christ in me. Next one. This is Ethan Henderson. Education and work, Tower High School, class of 2011. Religious views, he's religious. Favorite quotations. Champions are made in the gyms. Champions are made from something they have deep inside of them. A desire, a dream, a vision. Muhammad Ali. Sports, no. Favorite teams, I have athletes, David Beckham, Shaun White, Muhammad Ali. Arts and entertainment. Movies, Cinderella Man, Remember the Titans, Coach Carter, Facing the Giants, and Rocky.
Rocky!
Music, Drake, Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, Rihanna, and Jay-Z. Activities: mountain biking, snowboarding, soccer, and boxing. Basic information: I am the life of the party. I love to have a good time, and the ladies dig me. Call, text me if you want to talk. I took it off. Alright, so out of Ethan, Jackson, and what was the first one? Whatever the three are, which one would be a relationship just off the screen of what they're involved with, what they do, how they entertain themselves? Which one would be the one that would most glorify God in a relationship? Jackson, you are correct. Alright? See now, some of these guys had, Christian, different things on there, and you might think, oh, well, he loves Jesus, he's a Christian, he's been born again. But then you look at their profiles, you look at what they're into, you look at just some of the little things, some of the music they listen to, some of the TV shows that they watch, and you're thinking, how does that line up? Because, in Scripture, light and darkness cannot reside in the same place, according to Scripture. I mean, light has nothing to do with darkness. Darkness has nothing to do with light. That's why, when you see, that's just a little side note, just came to mind, but, when you see the yin-yang, the whole philosophy behind that, yin and yang used to be gods that were worshipped. But the whole philosophy behind that is that there's a little bit of darkness in good, and there's a little bit of good in darkness. Totally false philosophy. Okay, and yin yang is used in several different religions. Okay, but you look at those profiles, and you've got to really look not just at what the person says. You got to begin to look at their life, what they're involved with, what they're doing, outside of church. Because I tell you what, there's a whole bunch of people that say, I'm a Christian, and they come to church. Then they go outside the walls of the church and they live however they want to live. And that's not what a Christian is all about. A Christian is a radical, passionate follower of Christ. Someone who has a relationship with God. Someone whose life reflects God. Someone whose life represents Jesus Christ, no matter where they go, who they are, who they're talking to, what they're doing. You're representing Christ. You're being a light unto the world in the book of Matthew. Okay? That's what you got to look for. And when you're thinking about dating someone, you got to begin to evaluate that person a little bit. Now, there's no doubt about it. You want to date someone you're attracted to. I mean, why else would you at first want to date them if you're not, attracted to them? And you can be friends first, and that's one of the best ways to do it. Is, man, you're just good friends, man, and they become more and more attractive as you hang out, as you get to know them, as you begin to see their heart and what they're all about. Man, you start getting attracted more and more to them. But, there's also, you see someone, man, I really want to get to know them because, man, I'm really attracted to them. For me personally, I think they're hot. And I want to get to know them. It's perfectly okay. I mean, you don't want to date someone you're not attracted to. All right, so I understand looks play a part, but only a minor part. You've got to look at the full picture, okay? So, let's talk about the Hollywood way to date, real quick. Hollywood way to date. Hollywood way to date, step number one, you find the right person. The key to love is finding the right person, the one who's just right for you. He or she is out there. You just have to be on the lookout. So you should cruise around and look. I mean, keep your eyes peeled, because that specific one person that's right for you is out there. I mean, keep your eyes open when you're at the mall, when you're at the movies, or at the drive-thru, or when you're waiting at Starbucks, or saving the world, or maybe you should try online. Keep your eyes peeled. That perfect person is out there. You just have to find the right person. And when you think you found the right person, then you can move to step two. Now, I have a philosophy. This isn't written in any book. It's not in Scripture. It's just practical common sense. Now, I love my wife. I'm happy in our marriage. She's been awesome. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But do you guys believe that Holly was the one that was destined to be with me? Like, she's my soulmate in life. She's the only one. I mean, God picked her to be with me. See, I don't believe that. Now let me reason with you for a minute. There's like, how many people are there in the world, Aaron? 7 billion? 7 billion people in the world. Now when we go through, and we're going to talk about this, but when we go through God's guidelines or God's standards for dating, there's going to be more than one person that adds up, or more than one person that fulfills those guidelines for dating. Keep that in mind. Out of 7 billion people. Now, did God give us free choice? He did, didn't He? We have a choice to follow Him. We have a choice to sin. We have a choice to reject Him. We have a choice to receive Him. He's given us free choice. We can live our lives the way we want to live. We will pay for our sin. We can either let Jesus pay for our sin, or we will pay for it when we die. All right. He has given us free choice, though. So, it's always been my philosophy, and I've talked to several mentors about this, especially when I was, in that college age and kind of like thinking, maybe I should find a girlfriend and get married or something, I don't know. But, and is there just that one right person for me out there? I would say no. I would say there's several right people for you out there. God gives you a choice. As long as those people line up with God's expectations in the Bible, and they have the guidelines in Scripture, He will let you choose. As long as they're fulfilling what He desires in the relationship. Does that make sense? Alright? So don't get stuck in this mode that, there's just that one person out of 7 billion that I could be married to and be happy. I think that's false. That's not right. As long as you stick with the guidelines of how God has set the relationship up, and the things that He has taught you to look for, and the things that He's revealed through Scripture, you can take your pick. Okay? I don't care if you agree with me. That's just my philosophy. So, alright, so Hollywood way. Find that one person. Once you find that one person that you think is that person you want to marry, you move to step 2. Step 2. Fall in love. You fall in love. It sounds so sweet. When you find that special someone, something will just click. And you will just know. Like, love is fully based, completely based on chemistry. Not on knowledge, not on character. It's based on chemistry. And you will know you're in love because you will have all these butterflies. Your stomach will be in knots, and you'll have these mushy feelings, and you won't be able to keep them out of your mind, and you're going to think about them night and day and all throughout the day. And love is a feeling. Step 2 in the Hollywood way of dating, which is totally false. Love is not a feeling. Love is a choice. Yes, love starts out, and there are feelings of love. But love, defined at its core, is a commitment. Because I'm going to tell you, there will be days when things do not go well in your marriage. Marriage is not this fun, blissful, I live all my life with this person, this is great. There are days when you will wake up, and I'm just being dead level honest with you. And you can ask anybody who's married in here. There are days when you wake up, and you will look at your spouse, guys, and you will not have the feelings of love. You will not have the butterflies. You will not have the stomach in knots. You will not be all googly-eyed over them. You will not have that. There will be days like that. And every day you wake up, you say, I made a commitment. I took a vow. I choose to love this person. I choose to love them. Love can be feelings. But at its core, love is a choice. You choose to love. And if everyone did that, you wouldn't have any divorce in the world. Choose to love. Step 1, that's step 2. Step 3, after you fall in love and you get all the mushy feelings. Step 3, Hollywood style. Fix your hopes and dreams on this person for your future fulfillment. All your hopes and dreams should be focused and spinning around and be dependent upon that person. All of them. So, in the movies, love overrides every other decision. I mean, a virgin is willing to give him or herself to another person because he or she has finally found true love. And this true love will now become the object of your life, your future, your dreams, and your satisfaction. In fact, the whole relationship will become about you. Hollywood also provides us with a convenient plan B. When things get shaky, when things get tough, we drift apart or we fall out of love, which I've heard before and I don't quite understand. And it's just not the same anymore. Maybe one day we came to the realization that we just chose the wrong person. Oh, I just made a mistake. I chose the wrong person. That person really isn't my soulmate. Oh, I missed it. I chose 1 out of 7 billion and they weren't the right one. I mean, how could that happen? I thought I picked the right one out of 7 billion. It's like finding one egg in 7 billion eggs. That's just your egg. So, maybe one day we came to the realization that we just chose the wrong person. Or we're just not right for each other. And when this happens, we move to step 4. And step 4 is, if failure occurs, repeat steps 1, 2, and 3. Basically, the Hollywood version of love and of marriage and of a relationship is, if it doesn't work, just repeat the steps and go find someone else. So start over. We know how those things go. Okay? So that's the Hollywood style of dating. Let's talk about spiritual guidelines that Scripture very plainly, very simply lays out for us on dating. See, when you decide to date, there are some guidelines directly from Scripture that God has given us. There are things we need to look for. Let's do number 1. There's a couple parts to number 1. Number 1. I should have put this in bigger print, so if I keep raising my stand-up, it's because I can't see. Okay. Are they passionate about Christ? First question you should always ask. You see someone, you've been hanging out with them, or you've been hanging out with them in a group of friends, and you're like, man, I'm attracted to that person, I think they're cute, I'd like to get to know them better. First question you got to ask. Are they passionate about Christ? Does their life reflect Christ? Matthew chapter 5 verses 14 through 16 says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light, which is Jesus Christ, shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Does their life reflect Christ? First part of, are they passionate about Christ? Does their attitude reflect Christ? Second part of this one, Galatians 5:19 through 23. The acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissension, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit, and here's what you're looking for in them. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. So when you begin to look at somebody, you begin to look at their personality, do they have the attitude of joy, love, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness? Do they reflect those things? Does the character of their life reflect those things? So, does their life reflect Christ? Does their attitude reflect Christ? Does their speech reflect Christ? You can tell a lot about how someone talks and the words that they use. Ephesians chapter 5 verses 3 through 4 says, "But among you there must not be even a hint of sexual immorality, or of any kind of impurity, or of greed, because these are improper for God's holy people. Nor should there be obscenity, foolish talk, or coarse joking, which are out of place, but rather thanksgiving," which is what we should be talking about. So does their speech reflect Christ? And last part of number 1, are they passionate about Christ? Do their actions reflect Christ? I mean, if you got someone you're looking into, and they look like the perfect boyfriend or the perfect girlfriend, And then you see them out on the weekends being a totally different person. Or maybe you meet them in church and you meet them in youth group. And then you find, that they're doing things, you're like, whoa, that doesn't add up with what I know about what God desires and about living for Christ and giving my heart. It just doesn't line up. And I mean, have you been there before? Have you seen that happen? Because I've seen it happen after 11 years of youth ministry constantly. And you've got to be careful of that. So do their actions reflect Christ? Romans chapter 12, verses 1 through 2. I'm going to read this in two different versions because I think both have a lot to say. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve of what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Now listen to this same passage in the Message. So here's what I want you to do. God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for Him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what He wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you, develops well-formed maturity in you. Don't be well-adjusted to culture. I mean, if you can tell when someone, you can tell within 5 minutes whether someone is genuine. I mean, teenagers are great at finding the fakes. You guys are really good at finding the fakes. And you can tell in 5 minutes whether someone is genuine about his faith, genuine about Jesus Christ, or someone who's just giving God lip service. And maybe talks a big talk, but doesn't live it out. You can tell like that. So, that was number one. Are they passionate about Christ? When you first start to think about dating someone, you have to ask yourself, are they passionate about Christ? Second thing you ask yourself, do they build you up and inspire you to go deeper in your faith? Second question. Do they build you up and inspire you to go deeper in your faith? Do we have these on the screen or no? They should all be on the PowerPoint.
I'll check.
Do they build you up and inspire you to go deeper in your faith? So, James chapter 4, verse 4 says, you adulterous people. I spent an hour on that PowerPoint. I hope you have it. I got 18 slides on there. Do they build you up and inspire you to go deeper in your faith? You adulterous people. Don't you know that friendship with the world means enmity against God? Therefore, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. Ooh, that's a pretty powerful scripture right there. If you choose to be a friend of the world, you become an enemy of God. So do they build you up and inspire you to go deeper in your faith? Now, this is the thing that I have seen in teenage relationships over and over and over and over again. And it doesn't matter how often I preach about it. It doesn't matter how often I take a couple aside and talk to them about it. It still happens. It still happens. What happens in teenage relationships is that a couple will start, and I see this all the time, especially in ministry, that I'll have two kids that, man, are growing in their faith. Two students growing in their faith, loving God, showing great leadership potential. And then they will start dating someone. Whether it's inside the ministry or outside the ministry, maybe they go to a different church, maybe they don't go to church at all, whatever the case, that's another issue we'll talk about. They start dating someone. And all of a sudden, their focus on maturing in Christ, their focus on growing in Christ, their focus on leadership, their focus on ministry, their focus on being a light to the world, their focus on witnessing to their friends, all of a sudden, all those focuses go. And the focus of the boyfriend or girlfriend goes. Can you guys do that? All right? So now, and I've seen it over and over again. in my 11 years. I've seen incredible student leaders waste away to nothing because they got into a relationship. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because God could have done so much through them and their schools. God could have used them to change so many people's lives. And they just threw it all away. It's kind of like that whole, this is my story. The chapters, the pages that are unwritten. You know, they had, 16 pages left in that chapter of high school, and they filled the 16 pages of ups and downs all about the relationship with this dude or with this girl. Instead of filling those 16 pages of that chapter of their high school with, oh man, and I still see these on our website, +1, +1, +1. One more accepted Jesus Christ. I got this friend to receive Christ. I stood on my cafeteria table and I told my entire school about Jesus Christ. Man, I talked at graduation about my testimony. I did a speech about Jesus Christ and what He's done in my life. I mean, instead of all these things and lives that are changed and lives that have been healed and lives that have been surrendered to God and how God has invaded families and how God has changed entire family. Instead of 16 pages being written about that stuff, it's 16 pages about ups and downs and hurts and pains about this relationship with this dude or this girl. It happens all the time. This is why I have a philosophy. Please, don't date in high school. And I understand I have, check me on this, I have had and have seen a few, very minimal relationships that did exactly what we were just talking about. They built each other up, they inspired each other, and they were actually even more powerful together because the base of their foundation was in God. They knew their purpose, they knew their vision, they weren't attached at the hip to each other. When they came to youth group, they didn't sit by each other and snuggle the entire time. They had their priorities straight, their focus was straight, it was still on God. God was number one, family was number two, maybe school was number three, and maybe the relationship was number 4 priority on their list. They had a great relationship, they had a good relationship, and they actually did incredible things for God. I've seen it. I've seen it work, and I've seen it happen. But you have to be so disciplined and so intentional with your focus. 99% of the time, it's the other thing. There are a few that can handle it and that do it right. And for those that do it right and handle it, man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. But my philosophy is still, don't date. It will totally take you out of God's plan and purpose for your life in high school. I promise you. All right, so you look for, are they passionate with God? You look for, do they build you up? Do they inspire you to go deeper in your faith? And then number 3, and there's 3, 4, and 5. Number 3, do you find that your mind is consistently consumed with thoughts of that special someone? Instead of fixing your hopes and dreams on another person, you have to fix your hope and dreams on God and seek to please Him through this relationship. So here's another warning sign. If you're thinking about dating someone and you become consumed with that person, which I've also seen a lot, you just become consumed and you think about it night and day. And I mean, it's just we'll just use Joey. Is anybody named Joey in here? I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you, Joey, okay? I'm not talking about you. I just made that name up. So, Joey, he's so awesome. He's so fun. He's so cute. Oh, Joey, I just want to be Joey. I just want to be Joey. I'm going to text him. Oh, Joey's so awesome. Oh, I got to text him, Joey. Oh, man, I want to hang out with Joey. I think we're going to go hang out together tonight. I got to text Joey again. See if he wants to hang out. I mean, it's 56 texts a day to Joey. It's 150 thoughts about Joey that day. I mean, it's Joey, 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 Joey. Everybody say Joey. Joey! If someone consumes you, if someone consumes your thoughts and your time and your attention, then you should not date them. Because you would be going against God's guidelines. He does not want that. Listen to Psalm chapter 10, verse 4. In his pride, the wicked man does not seek Him. In all his thoughts, there is no room for God. See, when you're consumed by a boyfriend or a girlfriend, your thoughts are never on God. Except for maybe when you're about to do something you shouldn't do. And you have that slight moment of conviction, and then it's overridden by passion or lust or stupidity. When you are consumed by someone else in a relationship, there is no room for God. You think that's what God wants? You think that's the plan God had for you? Absolutely not. So, if your mind's consumed by somebody, cut it off right there. Say, nope, I'm not doing it. Matthew chapter 6:33 says, but seek first the kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Guys, seek God first. He will bring the perfect boyfriend, girlfriend, future wife, future husband into your life. He will put God first. He will honor you, He will bless you, and He will bring you the best. I promise. He will bring you the best. Hear me. He will bring you the best. You will be happier than you ever thought. You will have more joy in your marriage than you ever could have dreamed of. Put God first. Put God first. All these things will be added unto you. Number 4. Do you see this person as someone you could spend the rest of your life with? Do you see this person as someone you could spend the rest of your life with? What is the point of getting into a relationship with someone that you can't see yourself in a relationship with in the future? The purpose of dating is not to find out what you don't like in somebody or don't like in a boyfriend or girlfriend. It's to learn to be unselfish and how to honor God through that relationship. That's the purpose of getting into a relationship. So dating someone just because will always lead to selfishness. If you're going to date someone just because your friends are all dating people and have boyfriends or girlfriends, so you think you should too, that's the wrong reasons. That's going to lead to selfishness. That relationship will become all about you. There will be brokenness, there will be heartache, there will be pain, whether you've caused it to the person you're dating or whether it's caused to you personally. Dating someone you know isn't right for you leads to selfishness. And I've found myself in that trap before. Dating someone that, this person's probably not the person that God would want me with or that is going to glorify God with me in a relationship, I shouldn't be with them. Okay? So, that always leads to selfishness. Dating someone you know isn't right for you leads to selfishness. Dating someone for the wrong reasons, period, leads to selfishness. You see, at this age and at this point in your life, you're still learning. You're still learning all about how to be unselfish. How to be unselfish with yourself. Not even worrying about unselfish with other people. I mean, you're just trying to get unselfishness down, period. But when you're in a relationship, high school relationships, 99.9% of the time become selfish. It's all about the other person. It's all about manipulating or controlling or doing this or doing that. That's what takes place over and over and over again. Philippians chapter 2, verse 3 says this, and we're almost done. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. When you can value someone else above yourself, and they don't take it for granted, that's when you know you're ready to be in a relationship. Number 5, are you settling for less than God's best? Number 5, are you settling for less than God's best? So, you've got, are they passionate for Christ? Do they build you up and inspire you to go deeper in your faith? Do you find that your mind is constantly consumed by them because you've got to fix your mind on God? Do you see this person as someone you can spend the rest of your life with? Are you settling for less than God's best? Last one. Are you settling for less than God's best? Just don't get into a relationship to be in a relationship because 3 of your friends are in relationships and you think you should be too. Make a list of your criteria of what you want in the perfect boyfriend, girlfriend scenario. And don't date anyone who doesn't match that criteria. It's not a bad thing. Write out what you want in somebody. Write out beforehand, before you even have anybody on the radar list, write out what you want that's going to honor God, that you would desire, and write those things out, and then find someone that lines up with that criteria of what you're lining up. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." And when you honor God with your relationships, He will prosper you. He will give you hope. He will give you a great future. But you have to honor God through your relationships. If you don't, sin's going to take over, you're going to crash and burn, and it's going to be a relationship, and don't miss this, it's going to be a relationship of hell. It really is. It's going to put you through hell. And it's going to end badly. And if you get married to someone like that, your marriage is going to be hell, and you're going to have years of hell because of that stuff. Okay? So, set your criteria now. Line them up. Whenever you decide that you're thinking about dating, make sure they line up to that criteria. Make sure you're going to glorify God. Make sure your priorities are straight. Make sure you're strong in your faith. Make sure that person is strong in their faith. And then you have a possibility for dating. You know what else you would do? If I were you, I would talk to your parents about it. I would talk to your parents about it before you made a move. I might even talk to my youth pastor about it. Or an adult leader who I trust before I make that move. And you always want to have accountability within that. You always want to have accountability once you start dating. Okay? So that's good. So, did you guys write those down? Are they passionate about Christ? Do they build you up and inspire you? Is your mind constantly on them, or is it on God? Do you see your person that you can spend the rest of your life with, and are you settling for less than God's best? Because God does have a best for you. He's got a best for you. Okay? And it will line up with His Word. So that's our first what's the word I'm looking for? Deposit on dating. It's the first deposit of great wisdom to you on dating. Alright? Very, very good. Okay, everybody stand up for a minute. We're going to pray. I'm going to dismiss you. If you're brand new tonight, you've never been here before, I'd love to meet you right back in the arcade. Just following this, I have a free t-shirt for you. And I just want to meet you and thank you for coming. And if you are, am I missing anything? You're brand new. If you're interested in paintball, talk to Aaron. And I have a couple of you. Nobody leave right away because I have a couple of you I want to talk to. Okay. Fringe tomorrow night. Don't miss it. My house, 7 o'clock. 7? 6:30? 6:30. 6:30. All right, let's pray. Heavenly Father, this is going to be a great month. Just talking about some of these pretty important things in life, and some of the things that we get caught up into. Some of the things that, some of the more serious things as we go on in the month. And I just pray, God, that you'd be with us. I pray, God, that we'd walk in here with open hearts and open minds. I pray, God, that we'd have fun with it too, and we would laugh, and we would enjoy just kind of talking about these things that, you know, a lot of the time people won't talk about. And even parents sometimes stray away from them and won't talk about. So, God, I just pray that you would bless our time together in these following weeks. Thank you for all these students. Watch over them, protect them, and bring them back next week. God, we love you. We praise you in Jesus' name. Everybody said, amen. You guys